About 20 years ago, I was driving from a late wedding DJ gig. I was driving south on a major interstate, which was relatively empty at 2:30 a.m. or so. At one point in the narrows, the retaining walls on each side get very high as the highway snakes underneath overpasses. Out of nowhere, a young woman jumped down from the retaining wall onto the highway and directly in front of my car. I hit the brakes hard, come to a complete stop, and nearly slammed into her. She looked up, ran to my passenger door, and got in looking terrified. She looked between 16 and 20 years old, long blonde hair, and her clothes looked a little dirty. Not homeless dirty, but like she'd fallen down a few times. "I just need to call my mom," she said. I tried to calm her down and began moving back down the highway, and behind me, about 50 feet, I saw another figure jump down onto the highway. I didn't mention this to her, and she didn't look back or see the other person. I sped up and went about 4 or 5, 6 exits south. She kept saying over and over, "I just need to call my mom." This was before most people had cell phones, so I told her that I would take her to one of those 24-hour grocery stores and she would call her mom. I asked her if she needed money for a payphone, what was wrong, etc. She said nothing other than, "I just need to call my mom." I pulled up to the grocery store and stopped. She got out quickly, but not running, then ducked into the grocery store. She didn't say a word to me or look back. I pulled into the gas station across the street and called 911 and told them the entire story and let them know the young woman was inside the grocery store and a description of her. I have no idea what happened. I don't know why she did that, what happened to her, who the figure behind us was on the highway, nothing. Really made me super uneasy. I think I did the right thing. I would have tried to do more, but she seemed really fragile emotionally and somewhat afraid of me. I am a guy, so I wanted her to just be able to get to where she needed to be. I cannot drive, for medical reasons. Blindness, migraines triggered by flashing lights. I do, however, use Lyft and Uber a lot. We picked up a hitchhiking ghost. I swear to fuck, we picked up a hitchhiking ghost. I always do the rideshare/pool options because I'm cheap and don't care. I was on my way home late from the Arsenal bar in LA, and it's on the other side of the hill where I live. We took the canyons back home. Of course, the phone dings with, "Blank will be joining your ride." No biggie. I'm sitting in a front seat because the back was already full. We drop those people off and go to pick up the new person. She gets in, doesn't talk, but doesn't pull out her phone either. Driver is kind of like, "Why do I care?" And I'm schmozzled on $5 Jack and Cokes because it was trivia night and my team came in third. Now, we're arcing up through the canyon and it's dead quiet and dark. Not too many other drivers out, and not a lot of homes. The girl finally pipes up, "You can't let me off here." The map doesn't show her destination is here, in the middle of pitch black empty field. The driver asks her, "Are you sure?" in that tone of a voice that says, "Ma'am, I don't care if you're on drugs. If you get murdered, I get a 1-star rating. Let me out of here." So, he does. Pulls over, goes to get out to open the door for her, but before he can even get the seatbelt off, her door is open and she's gone. I mean, gone. Gone. I don't know if she took off in a dead sprint and we missed her, or if she dissolved into the mist. All I know is that the back passenger door was wide open. There was suddenly no girl to be seen, and we were in the middle of an extremely creepy canyon road that was somewhere between Sunset and Laurel Canyon, and both the driver and I were just super done. I finished the ride in silence, got to my house, and went in without daring to look behind me. I slept holding onto my cat and my stuffed pony that I've had since forever. I stopped at a gas station back in 2008, and there was a guy who was using a payphone to talk to his girlfriend, or ex. He was screaming and said he was going to kill somebody because of her. As I was getting into my car, he looked at me and slammed down the phone. I started my car and drove off. I was a little worried, but didn't consider his threat to be real. After a few minutes, he catches up to me on the main road. He starts tailgating me, and I get the weird suspicion that he actually wants to kill me. I'm a little overly paranoid about the world, so I react almost immediately. I take a few random roads that make no sense, totally out of the way to get to where I'm going, and sure enough, he follows me. Finally, I get to the gate of my community. I put in my password and the gate opens. He speeds up before the gate closes to get in. I see this often though, so even though I'm concerned, I just go with it. Right after I made the left turn into my cul-de-sac, I realized that he is 100% following me. There are too many roads for him to live on my street. Each street has 50 condos, but mine only had 8. Instead of using a blinker, I just jerk my car to the left and get into my street. Dude goes straight, missing the turn, and slams on his brakes. You can even hear it. I'm more curious than anything else, so I keep looking at my rear view while going the speed limit. I see his reverse lamps turn on. I literally slam on the gas on my car and get to my house. I turn off all my lights inside of my car, not sure why, and I bolt out and run into my condo. I turn off all of the lights in my condo and I look outside. There was outdoor lighting, so you couldn't see if the lights were off. He parks his car, but leaves it running, gets out and paces around my car, gets back in his and drives away. The next morning, I get my cold groceries from the gas station and throw them away.